Hey guys, and welcome back to the Peteytown Piranhas, a college football 26 team builder dynasty. In this episode, we're going to be going through year 18 of the program, and we're trying to win our 10th national championship after winning one last season, and I think we have the very talented guys to do just that. So to start with, we're going to be going through our schedule, and then we'll take a look at the team, and then we'll look at some recruiting for the initial board, and then we'll get into the season. Looking at our schedule for this season, we're going to take on Georgia in a kickoff game to start it off, and then we're going to have Louisville and then travel to Notre Dame, then take on BYU, then we get into Big Ten Conference play against UCLA, then we take on Northwestern, Purdue, and Iowa, then we have a bye week, and then after that we have Washington, then we got to travel to Michigan, then we take on Oregon, and finish off the season against Michigan State. The Piranhas come into this season ranked number 1 in the country with 99s across the board per usual, and we got a lot of 99 overall players, 6 to be exact. You got Frederick Woods at guard, and then quarterback Demetrius Telfort, Will linebacker Eric Lopez, Mike linebacker Joel Okorafor, and Sam linebacker Deacon Killebrew, and finally you got Tyquan Paul at cornerback. On the offensive side of things, we're going to be led by quarterback Demetrius Telfort, and then at halfback will be Randy McNeil, and then for third down situations and other packages, we're going to have Max Meeks. Then at fullback is going to be freshman Matt Hurt. Then at wide receiver, we're going to be led by Lorenzo Ruggins and Demetrius Brown, and we're going to have Trevor Christie as our slot guy, and Andre Iguabuke making some appearances as well. And then at tight end, we're going to have Dylan DeLuca, who's waited a while for his opportunity, but he's also had some success in the past with us as the second tight end, but now he's the main man. And then at the offensive line, at left tackle will be Sammy Malik. At left guard, of course, will be Frederick Woods. At center, we're going to have Cameron Prescott moving over from tackle because I think he's the best option here in the middle. Then at right guard, we're going to have Kari Gentile, and at right tackle will be Madison Schwenk. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, you're going to have left edge Taj Higgins, and then he's going to be there for more normal situations. And then full-time at the other edge is going to be D'Angelo Dubs. Then defensive tackle, you have Vitali Mahalona and Colin Griffin. Nate Reinhardt will be our nose tackle, and then Kevin Jones might make some appearances as well. And then linebacker, just a very talented group here. On the outside will be Deacon Killebrew, in the middle will be Joel Okorafor, and the other outside linebacker will be Eric Lopez, and Eric will also be out there for rushing packages in that position, so a little versatility there. Then at cornerback, you're going to have Tyquan Paul leading the way, and Isaac Priestley will be on the other outside, and Marquise Naylor will be the slot cornerback. Then at free safety, you're going to have Otis Moody. At strong safety will be Tony G. And then for 3 safety looks, you're going to have Keenan LeCount. And then at kicker will be Joaquin Orlando returning to us, and punter Warren Woods for his senior season. For our recruiting this year, we have 7 gems that we're looking at, and we're going to start with 5-star left tackle Caleb Tant. And you can see he's a pass protector archetype, and his pass blocking is excellent with 85 pass block and power and 87 finesse, and he's got some abilities as well. Then we go down to D'Angelo Lemur, and he's an athlete contested specialist, 93 speed and 91 acceleration, which is very nice for that archetype, and he's also got the Platinum 50-50. And then another athlete is David Dimke. He projects more as a tight end and a very athletic one at that with 87 speed, and he's got some good catching and catching traffic as well. And then another wide receiver is Tyler Robbins. He's a route artist and solid speed for that archetype and very good route running with his medium at 88 and spectacular catch at 85 with a bronze cutter. Then we look at Sam linebacker Robbie Klopfenstein, and he's a lurker archetype with 85 speed and 87 acceleration. And then we look at Will linebacker Victor Lacumbo, got very good athleticism with that 84 speed and 89 acceleration, and 85 hit power is very intriguing. And then we got left edge Colt Kuhn, and he's a speed rusher archetype with 84 speed and 85 acceleration, and he's got that 86 finesse moves. And the rest of the guys, we got some 4 stars and 5 stars mixed together, and we're excited, and we're going to see what we can do with all these guys. And we also have to point out Alex Keener our quarterback dual threat with 94 throw power, solid accuracies, and good athleticism. Time to open the season with a special kickoff game against the Georgia Bulldogs with their 94 overall, and they come into this season ranked number 16, and it'll be a good test for us to see where the Peteytown Piranhas are at to start this year. And Dylan DeLuca is going to fight through some Georgia Bulldogs to get into the end zone, and that'll be the first touchdown of the season for the Piranhas. And there's a fumble there, and it's going to be recovered by the Peteytown Piranhas. Great awareness there to jump on that ball, and we're going to take over at Georgia's 41-yard line. Offense can't move too much forward after that fumble recovery, and it's going to be our guy Joaquin Orlando attempting his first field goal of the year, and he's going to knock it through to make it 10-0 Piranhas. In response to our field goal, Georgia's going to set up for their own field goal, a 52-yarder. Their kicker is going to send this one on its way, and it is good, and it'll be 10-3. And an open man in the end zone, and it is going to be a nice touchdown strike from Demetrius Telfort to Demetrius Brown, and the Peteytown Piranhas will extend the lead to 17-3. And we're trying to hit that trail route, but Georgia's linebacker just stepped right in front of it, and that's going to be an interception for Georgia. And Georgia's man is sprinting away from us. He gets a block downfield. We try to drag him down, but Georgia's going to get into the end zone there on a nice strike from their quarterback to their receiver, and it's going to be 17-10.
There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. Taking a shot deep toward the
And that is going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas as a nice strike to Lorenzo Ruggins gets us in there, and Georgia kind of pushed him into the end zone. But we will take that as it's a nice response after Georgia's touchdown, and it's going to be 24-10. Right before the end of the first half, our offense is able to get it in position for Joaquin Orlando, and Joaquin is going to put up this kick, and it is good, and we're going to take a 27-10 lead into halftime. Another field goal attempt here for Joaquin Orlando, and Joaquin is going to put it up, and he is good again as it's going to be 30-10 Piranhas. And we're going to get the interception here. Deacon Killebrew is the one who undercuts it, and he's going to run it down the hash mark. Their offensive lineman thought it was their quarterback, but we got that one all the way to their 16-yard line. And trying to hit a crosser there. It's going to be intercepted by Georgia on the very next play after our interception, so a little back-to-back interception action. And make that 3 straight plays with interceptions, as we're going to get another one here. Looks like Isaac Priestley is the one that comes down with that one. And now we have it on their 31-yard line. And Trevor Christie is going to get into the end zone here. A little maneuvering by him. And another helpful push by Georgia gets us into the end zone, as it's going to be 37-10. And it's going to be Demetrius Brown off a little RPO action, and he is not going to be caught. Demetrius Brown with a long touchdown reception, and the Peteytown Piranhas will go up 44-10 on Georgia. Strong opening statement here from the Peteytown Piranhas over Georgia as we get the 47-17 victory over them. Just great job by the offense, moving the ball up and down the field. A couple of mistakes by Demetrius that we'll look to correct, but overall a solid job by the Piranhas. On this day, the Peteytown Piranhas had 571 yards to Georgia's 303, and then for rushing we had 132 to their 39, and then for passing we had 439 to their 264. We were 7 of 10 on third down, and they were 3 for 10, and for turnovers we both had 3. Demetrius Telfort finished his day with 352 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and he was not sacked. Then with the backups, Eli Newcomb had 87 yards, but he did have an interception on the goal line. Randy McNeil was our leader in rushing as he had 15 carries and 75 yards. Nice numbers for our receivers as Demetrius Brown had 5 catches for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Lorenzo Ruggins had 9 for 104 and a touchdown. And Tobias Hayden with the backups had 4 for 73, Dylan DeLuca 5 for 49 and a touchdown, and Trevor Christie 3 for 33 and a touchdown. In tackles, we were led by Marquise Naylor with 7, and he also had 3 for a loss. And then for sacks, we only had 1 today as George Heredia got that. And for interceptions, 2 on the day, 1 by Deacon Killebrew that he had a nice return on. And then Isaac Priestley got the other one. And then for forced fumbles, we're going to go all the way over here and find that it was Joel Okorafor who forced it, and it was recovered by Marquise Naylor. Perfect day for Joaquin Orlando as he hit all 4 of his field goals today with a long of 50. Wide receiver Cornell Cleveland is the only guy in his top 5 right now, and he's in a close battle with Michigan, and we have him on a hard sell in a week 4 visit. And then some guys that have some gems that we found out after the fact of the initial recruiting board. You got a couple of guards with Evan Brightwell and Glenn Keel. And for Evan, he's got his 81 run block finesse and 87 impact blocking. And then for Glenn, he's got 83 run block finesse and 86 impact blocking with bronze quick step. And then a guy that I missed on the initial recruiting board who had a gem is Mike linebacker Ben Incognito. He's got 84 speed and 88 acceleration and 77 zone coverage, as well as that bronze blow up. Checking in on the Heisman Trophy race, you have Texas quarterback Elliot Henderson leading the way so far, with Demetrius Telfort right behind him, and you can see nothing really changed from the initial one. I forgot to check it before the first game, but nothing's really changed, so we'll see if we can get Demetrius Telfort a little boost up. Those 2 interceptions might hold him back initially, but I think he can put forth a season to keep himself on this list. Louisville was ranked to start this year, but they no longer are because they lost their first game of the year, so they come in with an 84 overall into the Piranha tank.
They try to put up the first points of this game.
Randy McNeil used some physicality there, and he got into the end zone, just would not be denied that score there, and it's going to be 7-0 Piranhas.
On 4th down, looking for the completion.
And they try to go for it here on 4th and 1, but Deacon Killebrew is going to step in front of it to get the interception in the end zone, and we are going to take over.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Looking down
And it's going to be a touchdown strike to Randy McNeil, who gets in on the receiving end here, and he's got 2 touchdowns to start this one to make it 14-0.
from the gun, wants to pass.
And we're going to get a sack here as Taj Higgins gets back there.
Addition with a fresh set of downs.
And Randy McNeil is in there for the 3rd time today. This is a short one here, and it's going to be 21-0.
Wanting offense. From the gun, wants to pass.
And Demetrius Telfort broke the first sack attempt, but he will not get away from the second. And we're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt from Joaquin Orlando. He's going to take it from about, 25 yards out. And he is going to find the angle and make it 24-0 for the Piranhas.
Looking to throw for it. Quick strike complete.
Max Meeks is going to take this one down the hash marks, and Max Meeks is going to get into the end zone here. Our running backs just forming a very potent duo right now. They sent an all-out blitz, it looked like, and since it didn't get home, there was a lot of space for Max to work with, and we're going to go up 31-0.
Takes a snap, wants to throw.
And it's going to be a sack for Louisville. They brought an extra guy there, and Demetrius wasn't able to get away. And this time, Dylan DeLuca is going to get free, and he's going to get into the end zone. Nice little toss from Demetrius Telfort, and it's going to be 38-0 Piranhas.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down.
And splitting the seam here is going to be Trevor Christie, and Trevor Christie is going to get into the end zone on a nice long toss, and it's going to be 45-0 Piranhas. The backups were not done scoring as we got more points with them to make it a 66-7 victory over Louisville. Just absolute dominance from the Peteytown Piranhas in this one. Big numbers on offense, as you can imagine, for the Piranhas. We had 680 yards to Louisville's 230. They had negative 16 yards rushing, while we had 268 and 4 touchdowns. For passing yards, they had 246 to our 412. They were 4 of 12 on third down, while we were 7 for 8. And for turnovers, we didn't have any, and we forced one on Louisville. Really great day here for Demetrius Telford, as he had 344 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was sacked 3 times. And for Eli Newcomb, he had 68 yards and a touchdown. Trevante Uzama came in with the backups and absolutely lit it up with 10 carries and 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Randy McNeil had 12 for 82 and 2 touchdowns as well. Max Meeks ended up being our leading receiver with that big 71-yard catch, helping him out as he finished with 3 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Then Trevor Christie had 5 for 75 and a touchdown. Dylan DeLuca, 10 for 71 and a touchdown. And with the backups, Andre Iguabuke had a 49-yard touchdown catch. And then Randy McNeil added 4 for 37 and a touchdown for his 3-touchdown day. George Heredia came in with the backups to lead us in tackles with 6, and he had 2 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had 2 for Jamichael Heggie and 1 for Taj Hagens. For interceptions, Deacon Killebrew got that one in the end zone. Joaquin Orlando, just pretty simple today, only had 1 field goal attempt that he hit for a 25-yarder. I gotta own up to making a big mistake here. After our win against Louisville, I was experimenting with different things. I ended up getting a new microphone for recordings, and I was just fiddling with the controller to see where the best placement for it was so it wasn't so loud in the recording. And as I was doing that and fiddling with different things, I accidentally advanced the week a couple of weeks and then pressed advance week. And by the time I realized what happened, we had skipped a couple of games, so we ended up beating Notre Dame 45-17 in Sim, as well as BYU in Sim. We got the 44-10 victory, so thankfully it didn't hurt anything with our record, but very sorry that I didn't record those things because they were simmed right through. So now we're going to pick it up here with UCLA. During that accidental sim, we got Cornell Cleveland to commit to us, so that's nice. As for the rest of the guys, we have Robbie Klopfenstein and Colt Kuhn in their top 3, and I wasn't able to hard sell because of that sim, so probably not going to get these guys to commit, but we'll see what happens. And everybody else is in their top 5 stage right now, so we're going to see if we can recover after that. And pretty much everybody except the punter here is in their top 5, so we'll see what happens. Another consequence of that sim is that Eric Lopez got injured. It's a dislocated knee, and thankfully it's not the whole season, but he will be out for the next 5 weeks. While Eric Lopez heals up, we're going to have Max Littlejohn taking his spot at the will linebacker. And at the rushing left end spot for Eric Lopez will be Jamichael Heggie. After all that, we're finally going to get back on the field here with the Peteytown Piranhas as we host UCLA with their number 13 ranking. They're also undefeated and they have a 91 team overall.
Use the play fake now to throw.
On the first play of the game, it's going to be a sack for the Piranhas as D'Angelo Dubs gets back there. And wide open, nobody was out there covering Max Meeks, and we are going to take advantage of it to take a 7-0 lead.
The play action fake.
And another sack here as Max Littlejohn is going to get in there, and he's in that replacement spot right now for Eric Lopez, and he's taking advantage of his opportunity. And they're going to give UCLA the touchdown there. I think I might challenge this one. I don't think he got all the way in, but we'll have to see. Taking a look at the replay here. Can't really tell from that angle. And this should give us the good view. Oh, he did get that ball over, so it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge here for the Peteytown Piranhas.
Second down, he'll throw it.
And in the end zone on a little hitch route, we're going to get it to Trevor Christie, and we're going to go up 14-7.
Since you're adding so much talent now to this this conference. But yeah.
It's a fumble on the
And a fumble here is going to be picked up by the Piranhas, and it's going to be returned all the way back for a touchdown. Marquise Naylor is the one who scooped it up and scored, and it's going to be 21-7 Piranhas. UCLA gets it just past midfield, and that's good enough range for them to try their kicker, and he's going to send this one up, and it is good, so very impressive kick there to make it 21-10.
play, and we'll take a break to check him out.
And we're going to get a little RPO action in the flat to our guy Dylan DeLuca to make it 28-10.
Looking to throw on first down. Here comes the
D'Angelo Dubs is going to get in there before he can get rid of the ball for our third sack of the first half.
looking to throw, and he needs a bunch.
And another sack incoming here for the Piranhas a couple plays later.
Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half.
And that is going to be intercepted by UCLA. A couple of guys out there. Demetrius Telfort trying to force that one, and he didn't really need to.
They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it.
Dylan DeLuca is going to get into the end zone here on the crossing route, and then he accelerated into the end zone, and it's going to be 35-10 Piranhas.
Down on third and short from the 45. Unloads to the wide.
And that is a very athletic interception by UCLA's man, trying to hit Trevor Christie behind him, but couldn't quite get it there for Demetrius Telfort.
For first down without scoring. Third down.
And that is going to be a strike from Demetrius Telfort to get it to our man. It's going to be Demetrius Brown on the catch to make it 42-10. The Piranhas close out this 42-10 victory over the UCLA Bruins. Just a very dominant effort here by the Piranhas. Just over the 500-yard mark for the Piranhas as we got 503. UCLA got 212. And then for rushing, they had 50 yards and a touchdown, while we had 187. For passing, they had 162, while we had 316. They were 1 for 8 on third down, and we were nearly perfect at 8 for 9. And for turnovers, they had 1, and we had 2. Demetrius Telfort was able to put up some numbers despite those 2 interceptions with 297 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no sacks. Randy McNeil very effective on the ground today as he got 15 carries for 132 yards. Dylan DeLuca got 11 catches, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns, while Demetrius Brown got 8 for 76 and a touchdown. Lorenzo Ruggin, 6 for 69, nice. And then Trevor Christie, 4 for 24 and a touchdown. And Max Meeks, 3 for 22 and a touchdown. 3 guys with 5 tackles today as Joel Okorafor, Tony G, and Otis Moody got those. Then for sacks, we had 2 for D'Angelo Dubs, 1 for Max Littlejohn, and half a sack each for Colin Griffin and Jamichael Heggie. We did not grab an interception in this one, but we did get a forced fumble with Isaac Priestley, and that was returned by Marquise Naylor for a 30-yard touchdown. In our recruiting, we unfortunately lost Colt Kuhn to Michigan, so we're going to have to take him off the board. Then a few other guys in their top 3 as Robbie Kloppenstein is trying to catch up on Penn State, but it might be too little too late. Then you got Tyler Robbins, who took a jump over Baylor, and then Glenn Keel has a nice little lead over NC State. And Evan Brightwell is still in the top 3. He's in the 3rd place right now. And we're going to see if we can extend it out to week 9 for a visit, but probably not as it's week 6 right now. And then you also got Cortez Stoner just behind Florida. Over the course of a few weeks, Demetrius Telfort has fallen down to 4th place on the Heisman Trophy list, but he's still there, so there's still a chance. Hopefully shouldn't have too much trouble against Northwestern here. They come into this one 1-3 with a 72 team overall.
He'll keep it himself. Breaks the tackle and runs through another.
And Demetrius Telfort is going to break a couple of tackles and get all the way into the end zone. Demetrius Telfort with a tremendous effort there to make it 7-0 Piranhas. And we're going to get in for the sack. D'Angelo Dubs in on that one, as well as Vitelli Mahalona. Joaquin Orlando going to come on to try the 44-yard field goal attempt. And he's going to send this one away. And it is good, and we're going to go up 10-0.
Looking to throw on first down.
And getting in for the sack here, Taj Higgins gets there, as well as D'Angelo Dubs.
For this offense. They'll use the running game on
Randy McNeil with an easy path into the end zone there. The blocking set up very nicely, and he's going to make it 17-0.
quarterback on the key.
And nice read option here by the Northwestern quarterback, and they're going to be on the board to make it 17-7.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air.
Randy McNeil on the receiving end of the angle route and jukes a man out a little bit to get into the end zone, and we're going to go up 24-7.
They'll go to work in the air on second down.
And their quarterback tries to go backwards. He fumbles it, and it bounces around, and we're going to recover it. Colin Griffin's going to be the one recovering it there, and we're going to be set up at their 13-yard line.
Looking downfield on first down.
Dylan DeLuca getting around all the defenders on the very next play after that forced fumble, and we're going to go up 31-7 on Northwestern.
And now with a new set of downs.
And Dylan DeLuca is going to get into the end zone, little RPO slant and little flat play off of that, and Dylan finds himself open in the end zone again to make it 38-7.
Pitch over Navy. Just another week of college football where we
And it is going to be intercepted by Deacon Killebrew. Their man tried throwing it into traffic, and that's not a good idea. And Deacon's got another one for us, and he gets it to their 30-yard line.
Looking to throw on first down.
And Dylan DeLuca, for the third time today, is going to get into the end zone. A man was waiting for him in the end zone, but got to him a little too late there as Dylan was already across the line. And it's going to be 45-7 Piranhas.
About this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick.
And Taj Higgins in on another sack here as he drops him 9 yards behind the line.
Look with that sack. They'll run play action.
Another sack incoming, back-to-back plays, and this one's going to be Viteli Mahalona.
Have to punt it away.
And it is going to be a blocked kick, and their man somehow recovers that, but we're going to end up with it on their 6-yard line.
Mess it up. You've got to cash this in for a score.
To the outside, it's going to be Tobias Hayden getting this catch. We've run that play a few times to great success, and this time Demetrius Telfort throws it to the outside route, and it still has that same success as Tobias is going to make it 52-7. The Peteytown Piranhas walk out of here with a 55-17 victory over Northwestern. Backups gave up a few points, but it's all well and good as the Piranhas just controlled this game from start to finish. In this game, the Peteytown Piranhas had 543 yards to Northwestern's 304. We had 211 yards rushing with 2 scores, while they had -22 and a touchdown. And for passing, we just outgained them 332 to 326. We were 6 of 8 on third down, while they were 6 for 12. And then for turnovers, we didn't have any, and we forced 2 on Northwestern. Excellent day for Demetrius Telfort as he had 255 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. Randy McNeil did not get a lot of carries, but he was effective when called upon as he had 7 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown, and Demetrius Telfort provided a spark in the run game with 5 carries, 66 yards, and 1 touchdown for a 6-touchdown day. Dylan DeLuca being a playmaker out there with 8 catches, 110 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Then Demetrius Brown, 5 for 49. Randy McNeil, 3 for 40 and a touchdown. And then down here you got Tobias Hayden getting himself a touchdown. George Heredia led us in tackles today with 8. And then for the sacks, we got 2.5 from Viteli Mahalona, 1.5 for Taj Higgins, 1 for D'Angelo Dubs, then half a sack each for Greg DeMulling and Kevin Jones. And then for interceptions, Deacon Killebrew got a very athletic one. And then for our forced fumble, we got it with Viteli Mahalona, and it was recovered by Colin Griffin. Joaquin Orlando, another great day with 2 of 2 on field goals with a long of 44. Left guard Glenn Kell has joined the Peteytown Piranhas offensive line. Unfortunately, Robbie Klopfenstein has decided to go to Penn State, so we're going to lose out there, and also on Evan Brightwell, who locked us out. And then for Tyler Robbins, Baylor had a pretty good visit with him last week, but now that that's over, we can see we can gain some more ground on him. Then we got some other guys in their top 3, like Cortez Stoner, who got a nice little boost, but we have that Week 8 visit coming up for Florida, so I don't know if he's really going to make it to us, but we'll have to see what happens. Then some other tight battles here as Caleb Tant is behind Michigan. Then we got some other battles here. You can take a look, and we got these guys on Week 9 visits, so we'll see if any of them get there, but could be some nice boosts if they do. And then you got D'Angelo Lemur in nice first place over some other teams. And then Victor Lacumbo looking to probably commit soon, as well as Ben Incognito. So even with that sim, not all is lost here, but probably could have won more of these battles if not for that, but it is what it is. I decided to make a little change on defense. We still got Vitali Mahalona and Colin Griffin as the main defensive tackles, but I'm working to get Kevin Jones more involved here. Nate Reinhardt taking a little more of a back seat for Kevin, but I think Kevin has a little more pass rushing upside, and I think we need that for our defense. Another road game for the Peteytown Piranhas as we traveled to Purdue to take on the Boilermakers with their 72 overall, and they're having a pretty solid season so far at a 4-2 record. Off the RPO action, Trevor Christie is going to get free, and Trevor is in the end zone for the Piranhas to open up the scoring in this game. And that is a live ball, and it is a fumble, and we're going to scoop it up with Max Littlejohn. What a little freaky play there from Purdue, trying to get their screen work in, but it's going to go backwards, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to hold. And it's going to be another one for Trevor Christie, looking very familiar to the first one, and it's going to be 14-0 Piranhas. And that is just a fantastic interception by Purdue. Their linebacker gets over there, and Andre Igwebuike is going to bring him down, but just absolutely ripped that from our receiver. He earned every bit of that interception. And getting into the backfield is D'Angelo Dubs, along with our guy, looks like Jamichael Heggie gets back there as well.
And this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
He's going for a big play downfield.
And off of that huge hit by Tony G, we're going to get an interception with Tyquan Paul, and Tyquan is going to bring it all the way back to the 38-yard line. So trading interceptions here for the two teams.
Now on the move.
And Demetrius Telfort just got outstanding blocks there, and he had a clear path to the end zone. Just fantastic job by the offensive line there. And it's going to be 21-0 Peteytown Piranhas. And another sack incoming. It's going to be Vitali Mahalona getting back there. I don't know what happened on that play, but that man has another interception. Just some miscommunication or something on that one. A little bit kind of glitchy there, but it's going to cost us on another interception for Demetrius Telfort. Down 3 touchdowns. Purdue is going to elect to go for a field goal here just to get on the board, and they will do just that to make it 21-3. Max Meeks is going to take this screen, and Max Meeks is going to get into the end zone for the Piranhas to make it 28-3. And just absolutely immediate pressure from Vitali Mahalona on that sack. Right before the end of the first half, Joaquin Orlando is going to get a chance at a field goal, and he's going to put it through to make it 31-3 Piranhas. And there's a fumble here as it bounces away, and it is going to end up in the hands of Max Littlejohn. That's his second recovery of the day, and this one is going to be for a touchdown, as we're going to make it 38-3 at the end of the half. And we're going to get an interception here. It looks like Deacon Killebrew is going to get that one. He's had a pretty good knack for it this season, and we're going to take over. And wide open, Dylan DeLuca is going to get free, and that's going to make it 45-3 for the Peteytown Piranhas. And a wide open man, Demetrius Brown, in the end zone, and that's going to make it a nice 52-3 lead over Purdue. No issues here for the Peteytown Piranhas against Purdue as we finish them off 55-3, just absolute dominance by the Piranhas. The Piranhas finished with 547 yards on offense to Purdue's 207. We had 209 yards and a touchdown on the ground while they had 16. Then through the air, we had 338 to their 191. We were 6 of 8 on third down while they were 3 for 11. And we had a couple of turnovers, but we forced 4 on them. Demetrius Telfort putting up some numbers today with 312 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And on the 2 picks, the first one was just a great play by the defender, and the next one, our receiver got bumped and kind of got out of his path, so can't really blame Demetrius for these. And then he also was not sacked. Randy McNeil with 10 carries and 105 yards, while Demetrius Telfort got 3 for 66 and a very nice touchdown run. Dylan DeLuca with a big game today, 13 catches for 170 yards and a touchdown. Then you got Max Meeks getting 4 for 31 and a touchdown. Demetrius Brown adding a short score. And then fun stat line here for Trevor Christie, 4 catches, 2 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Joel Okorafor making a lot of plays today with 11 tackles and 4 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had a bunch of these with 1.5 by Vitali Mahalona and Greg DeMulling. Then you had 1 each for Jamichael Heggie and Colin Griffin, half a sack each for Taj Hagens, Jimmy Wyndham, Rico Crozier, D'Angelo Dubbs, and George Machado. Then for interceptions, you got Deacon Killebrew getting 1 and Taekwon Paul with the other. Got to credit Tony G with a lot on that one. He had that physical play to pop it loose. And then for forced fumbles, we had 2 by Colin Griffin, and they were picked up by Max Littlejohn, both of them, and he returned one of them for a touchdown. Joaquin Orlando just continues to make field goals as he got 2 more today with a long of 53. Wide receiver Tyler Robbins will be joining the Peteytown Piranhas. Another recruit as will linebacker Victor Lacumbo will be joining us. Another defender with free safety Derek Sims. Dylan DeLuca is your Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Looking at the battle for Cortez Stoner, we have jumped ahead of Florida for him, but they do have a visit this week for Week 8, so we hope that doesn't go very well. Then left tackle Caleb Tant, we got him behind Michigan right now, but if he can survive another week, we got him on the visit. And same thing here for Tyler Fisk, but it's a recruiting battle, so that might be a little tough. Then David Dimke actually in first place, so feeling a little better about him, but Ohio State does have that Tier 5 pipeline, so kind of tough situation there as well. Then we got some guys, Ben Incognito should be committing to us. And then Nolan Boyce in a little bit better position, but Georgia has that Week 9 visit, so we're hoping it doesn't go to that for him. So a little flip-flop from the other guys in that respect. Then Alex Keener, we got Ole Miss on a visit next week, so a little far-fetched that we might get him, but can never say die until it's over. And then you got left tackle Miles Stitzer, should be in good position for him. And then we got Trent Gold, the punter, should be able to get him to commit because no one else is going after him. Our guy Demetrius Telfort has overtaken the top spot for the Heisman Trophy race, so we love to see that. The Piranhas are getting used to traveling now as it's going to be another away game, this time against Iowa with their 82 overall and 4-2 record. And the pop pass is going to work to perfection here as Dylan DeLuca is going to get into the end zone. Joaquin Orlando comes out for a 49-yard field goal attempt, and Joaquin is going to put this one up, and it is wide to the left. I think that's his first miss of the season. Showing a replay here of a sack by Vitali Mahalona because my recording software kind of crapped out for a second, but Vitali got that sack.
Second down, he'll throw it.
And Kevin Jones is going to run him down for the sack and a forced fumble, but Iowa's lineman is going to pick it up amongst all that chaos. And it is going to be Lorenzo Ruggins coming across the middle to get the touchdown, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 14-0. And it's going to be Dylan DeLuca on the side there, making that catch and getting those toes in bounds to make it 21-0 for the Piranhas.
Try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game.
And undercut there, it's going to be an interception for the Piranhas. Deacon Killebrew is going to get it, and he's going to take it all the way back for a pick six. What a nice play by Deacon, and it's going to be 28-0 Piranhas. And a sack here, it's going to come up the middle from Fiteli Mahalona. Another sack incoming as Colin Griffin is going to get him down this time. And that is going to be intercepted by Iowa. Looks like a defensive lineman was out there, and he surprised Demetrius Telford on that pick. And Demetrius Telford is able to stay in bounds and cut it up just enough to get into the end zone there for the Piranhas as we make it 35-0. Randy McNeil is going to be able to split through that offensive line with some nice blocks, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 42-0. So we come to Iowa and we shut them out on their home field as we get the 49-0 victory. Absolute dominance from the Piranhas outside of a couple of interceptions, one by Demetrius and one by our backup, but other than that, a very nice day for the Piranhas. Another 500-yard day for the offense as we had 537 to Iowa's 103. We had 141 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns while they had -8. Then for passing, we had 396 to their 111. We were 7 of 8 on third down while they were 3 for 12. And for turnovers, we both had 2. Demetrius Telford had 367 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick, and he was not sacked. Then Eli Newcomb had 29 yards and an interception. Trevante Uzama led us with 12 carries and 87 yards and a touchdown, while Randy McNeil had 5 for 24 and a touchdown. Another huge day for Dylan DeLuca as he had 13 catches, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Demetrius Brown with a big one as well as he had 8 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. And Lorenzo Ruggins 4 for 44 and a touchdown. Isaac Priestley led us today with 7 tackles and 2 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had 6, led by Fiteli Mahalona with 2, and 1 each for Colin Griffin, Kevin Jones, Danny Fattencoon, and Nate Reinhardt. And then for interceptions, we got Deacon Killebrew on 1, and he returned 33 yards for a pick 6. And then we got Jamie Salcedo getting 1 as well. Unfortunately, Joaquin Orlando had his first field goal miss of the season. Ben Incognito has committed to the Peteytown Piranhas. Joining Ben will be punter Trent Gold. We also got halfback Cortez Stoner, a 5-star here with Will linebacker Tyler Fisk. For the second straight game, Dylan DeLuca is the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. D'Angelo Lemur should be committing any week now, and then you got Miles Stitzer, who should be committing to us, and we hope he does so that Notre Dame doesn't have a chance with that Week 10 visit next week. As for Week 9 visits, you got Caleb Tant just behind Michigan here, so we're hoping the visit can overtake them. Then we got David Dimke just over Ohio State, and Nolan Boyce just over Georgia here, but they do have the visit this week, so we're hoping that they don't overtake us for that. And then Alex Keener, he's kind of in the same situation here with Ole Miss in that Week 9 spot. Then we got Sammy Middlebrooks, a guy we added later in the process. In his top 5, we're currently in his 3rd spot. And for him, he's got 86 strength, 85 hit power, and 82 power moves. And then for outside linebacker Kurt Stat, he's got 85 speed and 90 acceleration, 88 hit power, which is really cool. He's got that gold blow-up ability, so guy we would really like to have, and also he has that bronze hammer. We do get the commitment from 5-star left tackle Miles Stitzer, and another 5-star left tackle Caleb Tant. David Dimke is going to be the latest tight end in our tight end room. And we did get the commitment from quarterback Alex Keener, so that's a big get for us. It was not all good news as we lost out on Nolan Boyce to Georgia. Checking the Heisman Trophy race after the bye week, Demetrius Telford has dropped down to 3rd, but we did add Dylan DeLuca to the race. A huge positive as Eric Lopez is going to be back playing with us this week. The recruits visiting this week will see a ranked matchup as we take on number 18 Washington with their 84 overall, and they're also 7-1 on the season, so definitely a team that's feeling themselves this year.
Wants to go up top.
And we're going to step in front of that for an interception. Joel Okorafor is going to be the one to get that, and we're going to take over at Washington's 29-yard line. Offense pushes it into the red zone, but can't get much farther, and Joaquin Orlando is going to come on for the field goal attempt, and he's going to put it through as we take advantage of that interception.
Second down, he'll throw it.
And up the middle, it's going to be Fiteli Mahalona bringing down their quarterback along with D'Angelo Dubs.
Second and goal.
And quick toss out to Dylan DeLuca, and he's able to get it across the line for the touchdown. And we're going to go up 10-0. And a big blitz here, and it's going to be Joel Okorafor getting in there for the sack as he continues his very strong start to this game. Piranhas get it to the fringe of the red zone, but no further, and Joaquin Orlando is going to put up another field goal attempt, and it bounces off the upright and is no good, so we come away with nothing on that drive.
He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
And it is going to be a deep attempt here, intercepted by the Piranhas. Isaac Priestley making the play there, and we're going to take over.
Back to the line. Looking to fire.
And it's going to be a sack here for the Piranhas. Eric Lopez and Kevin Jones get in there to get him down. Beautiful swim move there by D'Angelo Dubs, and Eric Lopez also gets in on that one for the second straight play, and we're going to get him off the field. And off the RPO, it's going to be the slant route over to Lorenzo Ruggins, who gets in for the touchdown as we go up 17-0. And just an absolute explosive move by Kevin Jones for that sack. Our holder is lined up right at the 50-yard line here as Joaquin Orlando is going to try a 60-yard field goal. Joaquin lets it go, and it is good, so makes up for that prior miss with a very impressive make there. And it's going to be 20-0 for the Piranhas. And it is going to be fire to Dylan DeLuca, who gets us into the end zone to extend the lead to 27-0. And it's going to be a sack as Kevin Jones and a whole bunch of Piranhas get in there. And Randy McNeil is going to find the lane into the end zone to make it 34-0 Piranhas. Another great showing here for the Peteytown Piranhas, and another shutout for our defense as we get the 37-0 victory over Washington. Just no complaints from me on this one. Almost 400 yards for the Peteytown Piranhas as we got 396 to Washington's 161. They had 20 yards rushing while we had 118 and a touchdown. They had 141 yards passing while we had 278. They were 2 for 10 on third down, and we were 8 for 12. And for turnovers, we didn't have any, while we forced 4 on Washington. Nice day for Demetrius Telford, as he had 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks, and he was not sacked. Trevante Uzama ended up leading us in rushing with 10 carries and 60 yards, while Randy McNeil had 10 for 44 and a touchdown. Dylan DeLuca continued to strengthen his Heisman Trophy campaign as he had 11 catches for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Christie had 12 for 70, and then we scroll on down to Lorenzo Ruggins, who got himself a short touchdown. D'Angelo Dubs with 7 tackles today and 3 for a loss, while Eric Lopez returned with 5 TFLs. And then for sacks, we got 2 from Kevin Jones, 1.5 each for D'Angelo Dubs and Eric Lopez, 1 for Joel Okorafor and Greg DeMulling, then half a sack for Fiteli Mahalona and Colin Griffin. And then for interceptions, we got 2 with Miles Meadows with the backups. Joel Okorafor got one early, and Isaac Priestley got one downfield on a nice grab. Joaquin Orlando had that one that bounced off the upright, but he hit his 3 other attempts and a long of 60. 5-star wide receiver D'Angelo Lemur will be joining our receiving corps. Very familiar sight as Dylan DeLuca is again the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. With that successful visit for Sammy Middlebrooks, we jumped just ahead of Michigan, but Nebraska also has that Week 11 visit for them, so they're lurking in the background. But really, this should be a battle between us and Michigan. Despite what I thought was a pretty good addition to his Heisman campaign, Dylan DeLuca has been taken off of this Heisman list, but Demetrius Telford is still up there. The big house awaits us now as we travel to Michigan to take on the Wolverines with a 96 team overall, but they are only 5-4 on the season, so a bit of a struggle for them, but always with those teams, they're looking to bounce back and get a win over a top-ranked team, so definitely got to come in here with some focus. And Randy McNeil has to reach down low for that one, but he's able to corral it for the touchdown, and the Piranhas are going to go up 7-0.
Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play.
And we're going to step in front of that one. Tony G making the interception, and nice play by him.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays.
And Dylan DeLuca is going to make the catch, and the man couldn't make the play in front of him. And Dylan's going to scoot away to get to the end zone to make it 14-0 Piranhas.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it.
And we're going to get Trevor Christie, and he's going to get out of there, go down the hash marks, and Trevor Christie has broken free for the touchdown. That was on a 4th down and 1, so gutsy play call there by the Peteytown Piranha offense, and it's going to work out to make it 21-0. And that is intercepted by Deacon Killebrew. I didn't even see him catch that one. I just saw the screen froze and he had it in his hands. Just absolutely incredible play there by Deacon.
Second down, he'll throw it.
And Dylan DeLuca gets free here into the end zone again for the Peteytown Piranhas, and we're going to take a very commanding 28-0 lead. Our offense has a nice drive near the end of the first half and get it to Michigan's 1, but can't punch it in from there, so Joaquin Orlando will punch in a field goal, and we're going to make it 31-0. On the first possession of the second half, we're going to set Joaquin Orlando up for another field goal attempt, and he boots this one away, and the 49-yarder is good, as we're going to make it 34-0 Piranhas.
Get a bigger workout if they don't convert. He tosses one high and deep down the left side.
Isaac Priestley with a great interception there. You just can't go deep on him as he just makes skies for that interception, and we're going to take over. And we're going to get sacked here as they brought an extra man to get in there, and he did.
To throw, it's Peters. He's going to fire deep.
And we're going to step in front of it for another interception as Otis Moody gets that one, and he returns it to their 29-yard line. So after they got a sack on us to stall out our previous drive, defense comes right back and gets it back for our offense.
Looking downfield on first down.
And to the outside, it's going to be Dylan DeLuca, and they had guys over there, but they just could not contain Dylan as he's in the end zone again, and it's going to be 41-0 for the Piranhas. Absolute domination here by the Peteytown Piranhas at Michigan as we get the 48-0 victory, a third straight shutout for the Peteytown Piranhas, just absolutely rolling right now. The Piranhas got 470 yards to Michigan's 137. We had 121 yards on the ground with a touchdown, and they had 24. Then for passing, we had 349 and they had 113. We were 2 of 9 on third down, so a little below our standards, and we also held them to 3 of 11. And then for turnovers, we didn't have any, and we committed a nice 5 on them. Demetrius Telford was great in this game with 311 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he was sacked once. Trevante Uzama led us today with 8 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown, while Randy McNeil had 9 for 45. Dylan DeLuca stepping up again for us with 16 catches, 137 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then Trevor Christie had 5 for 71 and a touchdown. And then a touchdown grab for Randy McNeil as well. Max Littlejohn led us with 7 tackles today, and we did not record a sack, but we got 5 interceptions as Rocky Long, Tony G, Deacon Killebrew, Isaac Priestley, and Otis Moody got those. Joaquin Orlando hitting both of his field goals today with a long of 49. Once again, Dylan DeLuca is the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, and Dylan also got the National Offensive Player of the Week. Nebraska didn't do enough on their visit to get Sammy Middlebrooks to want to commit to them, so it's just between us and Michigan now. After not being in the Heisman Trophy race at all last week, Dylan DeLuca is now in 3rd place, and then we got Demetrius Telford in 5th. Oregon is going to visit the Piranha Tank now, and they have an 89 team overall with an 8-2 record, and they're ranked number 13 in the country. And last season they really gave us a tough game, so we'll see how this one goes this time around.
Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down.
And that is going to be intercepted by Oregon right outside of their red zone, and Oregon is going to take over. After the interception, Oregon drives it down to our red zone and has to settle for a field goal, and their kicker is going to miss it wide to the right, so we're going to get away with that one.
Out wide. But here's a deep shot to the right.
Demetrius Telford has a man downfield, and it is going to be caught by Demetrius Brown. He's able to separate away from their defensive back, keep his feet in bounds, and race to the end zone to make it 7-0 Piranhas.
It's a quarterback keeper.
And there's a fumble there, and it's going to be picked up by the Piranhas. Colin Griffin on the recovery. He might have been the one who forced it out, but we'll check it in the stats later. But great job by Colin.
Injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout.
And it's going to be our guy Max Meeks getting into the end zone. He had a nice little cutback upfield, and he found the lane. And it's going to be 14-0 Piranhas.
And he'll drop back here on 3rd down.
And that is just going to be an easy interception for us here, as Joel Okorafor he waited for that ball to get to him. It was basically thrown right to him, and we're going to have it at their 27-yard line. Offense can't move it much after the interception, so Joaquin Orlando is going to come on for the field goal, and he is going to put it through to make it 17-0.
On 1st down, it's play action.
And that play action is not going to work, as he's a sitting duck for our guys, D'Angelo Dubs and friends. And it's going to be Dylan DeLuca making that catch, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Peteytown Piranhas to make it 24-0.
From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. And looking for a...
And we're going to get that interception undercut there. Can't tell who it is yet. It looks like Tony G is on that one. Just a very athletic play and great awareness by him.
They'll look to throw it on 3rd and goal.
And in the middle of the defense, it's going to be a fire from Demetrius Telford into the hands of, I couldn't tell because he didn't stand up, but we'll see who pops up here. It's going to be Lorenzo Ruggins on the receiving end of that one, and we're going to go up 31-0 right before the end of the half.
Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back.
And here's a sack by Oregon. We just had worked it into their red zone, and Oregon pushes us back a little bit. Thanks in large part to that sack. It's going to be a Joaquin Orlando field goal attempt on this drive, and Joaquin is going to put it through to extend the lead to 34-0. And pop pass to Dylan DeLuca is going to get us another touchdown in this one to make it 41-0. Unbelievably, a 4th shutout in a row for the Peteytown Piranhas as we get this 48-0 victory over Oregon. Just can't say enough about how this defense has been playing lately, and of course the offense doing their thing as well. We had 516 yards of offense to Oregon's 233. They had negative 11 rushing yards, while we had 114 and a touchdown. And for passing, they had 244 and we had 402. They were 5 of 13 on 3rd down, while we were 11 for 14. And for turnovers, we had 1, but we forced 4. Demetrius Telford had 351 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and he was sacked once. And Eli Newcomb had 51 yards and a touchdown. Trevante Uzama had 6 carries for 65 yards, while Randy McNeil had 10 for 47, and then we had Max Meeks getting a touchdown carry. Boosted by that long touchdown, Demetrius Brown had 4 catches, 109 yards, and the score. Dylan DeLuca had 9 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. Lorenzo Ruggins, 9 for 89 and a touchdown. And Tobias Hayden, 3 for 30 and a touchdown. Deacon Killebrew had 14 tackles with 4 for a loss, and Joel Okorafor had 10 with 3 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had 1 from George Machado and half a sack each for D'Angelo Dubbs, Vitelli Mahalona, Jimmy Wyndham, and Jamichael Heggie. And then for interceptions, we had 1 for Joel Okorafor, 1 for Tony G, and another 1 for Rocky Long. And Rocky's was pretty important because it was with the backups and they were driving for a score, but he got the interception in the end zone that helped preserve the shutout. And then for our forced fumbles, we had 1 for Colin Griffin, and he was the one who recovered it. Joaquin Orlando made both of his field goals today with a long of 37. And the tough battle for Sammy Middlebrooks is over as we have gotten him. Joel Okorafor is the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. A bunch of movement here in the Heisman Trophy race as Tavares Cons has taken over the top spot, and right behind him is Dylan DeLuca and Demetrius Telfort. Michigan State is going to be our last game of the regular season, and they come in at 5-6, so they're trying to get bowl eligible, so they're going to be hungry for a win here, and they also have an 89 team overall. On our first drive, we're going to get it in field goal range for Joaquin Orlando, and he's going to put up the kick, and it is good to make it 3-0. And trying to go for it on 4th down, but it's going to end up being an interception by Michigan State, trying to get it to the guy behind that linebacker, but instead Demetrius threw it right to him. After our interception, Michigan State was able to get the ball downfield in field goal range, and he is going to put it through, and that will end our shutout streak. And nice lofted pass out there by Demetrius Telfort to Dylan DeLuca as Dylan gets into the end zone to give us back the lead at 10-3. And nobody is anywhere near Demetrius Brown. Don't know what happened on that coverage, but we will take it as it's going to be 17-3. And they do a little pop pass there to their man, and he's going to get into the end zone. And now it's going to be 17-10.
He's looking to throw on 3rd and short.
And in the end zone on a slant route there, it's going to be Lorenzo Ruggins in the end zone. And we're going to have a 24-10 lead. And Dylan DeLuca again will get into the end zone here, and it's going to be 31-10 Piranhas. And a sack here off that double play action, and it's going to be Eric Lopez getting back there. And we're going to get Dylan DeLuca again. He got behind the defense and scores another touchdown here, and it's going to be 38-10 Piranhas. And we are going to accelerate into the end zone here. Trevor Christie showing that quickness to go up 45-10. The Piranhas are going to end this regular season with a big 52-17 victory over Michigan State. Just nice solid way to end this season, and we're going to get ready for the postseason. With this win over Michigan State, the Peteytown Piranhas have now gone 9 straight seasons without losing a regular season game, which I think is pretty remarkable. That streak now stands at 108 games, and with looking at different things online, I found that Mount Union had a 112 game regular season winning streak, so a few games away from that, so we'll see if we're able to do that next season. But looking at how this game unfolded, we had 476 yards to Michigan State's 291. They had 53 yards rushing while we had 118. Then for passing, they had 238 and we had 358. And they were 3 of 12 on 3rd down while we were 2 for 5. And for turnovers, we both had 1. Demetrius Telfort with 318 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and he was not sacked. Then Eli Newcomb had 40 yards and a touchdown. Randy McNeil got 8 carries for 67 yards, while Demetrius Telfort got 7 for 48. Dylan DeLuca finished with 10 catches and 111 yards with 3 touchdowns, and Trevor Christie had 6 for 85 and a touchdown. Demetrius Brown 4 for 58 and a touchdown, and Tobias Hayden 4 for 49 and a touchdown, along with Lorenzo Ruggins getting a short touchdown catch. 16 tackles today for Joel Okorafor with 2 for a loss, and then for sacks we got 1 from George Heredia and Eric Lopez, half a sack each for Greg DeMolling and Jimmy Wyndham, and then for interceptions we got 1 with Miles Meadows with the backups. Joaquin Orlando only 1 field goal attempt today, and he hit it for a 47-yarder. A guy I didn't really highlight in the recap of the stats was Marquise Naylor, and he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week on the backs of 5 pass deflections. In the Big Ten Championship game, our opponent will be number 11 Ohio State. Petey Previtt got himself an upgrade as he's a level 90 coach now, and I'm going to use it here in the high integrity tree to max out this tree. Heading into Conference Championship Week, the Peteytown Piranhas have the top 2 spots in the Heisman Trophy race with Demetrius Telfort and Dylan DeLuca. The Piranhas are going to go for 8 straight Big Ten championships here, and in our way will be the number 11 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes with their 95 overall and 9-3 record. Demetrius Telfort is going to take this one into the end zone, and he can get in there easily thanks to that O-line, and we're going to go up 7-0. And we're going to get in there with Colin Griffin, a nice coverage sack there as their quarterback couldn't find anybody, and Colin is going to take advantage.
Here comes a first down pass attempt.
And that is going to be an interception. Things got a little tied up in the middle of the field there, and that's going to cost Demetrius Telfort.
Play action fake, looking to throw.
And right up the middle is going to be Kevin Jones, who gets in for the sack.
Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long.
And we're going to get an interception back here. He just floated that one, and his receiver wasn't paying attention. And Joel Okorafor is going to return that to the 50-yard line. So nice answer by the defense after our interception. Instead of trying to convert a 4th down like we've tried to do on past drives in this game, Joaquin Orlando is going to try a field goal, but it is no good. And we're going to have to give it back to Ohio State. Ohio State got it to our red zone, but we're going to force a field goal attempt, and he is going to put that one through to make it 7-3.
Here's the snap, looking to throw here.
And that is going to be a sack for Ohio State as Demetrius Telfort tried to escape, but their man was able to bring him down.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball.
And chasing him down is going to be Kevin Jones to bring him down for a 6-yard loss. And the Heisman Trophy contenders are going to hook up here to get into the end zone. Dylan DeLuca adds another to his tally on this season, and it's going to be 14-3 Piranhas. End zone shot, and it is going to be underthrown and intercepted in the end zone by Tyquan Paul. What a great play. Earlier on this drive, we had a field goal attempt by Ohio State, and we went in for the block and committed roughing the kicker, and apparently that's going to work out for us as now Ohio State comes away with nothing. Randy McNeil is going to break the tackle and get into the end zone for the Piranhas as we're going to take a nice 21-3 lead.
Quarterback looking to throw it on 2nd down. Let's it go quickly.
And we're going to get that interception. Joel Okorafor with another one in this game. I thought that might have gotten past him, but Joel had other ideas, and we're going to be set up at their 33-yard line. Ohio State keeps us out of the end zone after the interception, but we're going to set up a field goal attempt for Joaquin Orlando. And Joaquin puts this one up and puts it through, and it's going to be 24-3 Piranhas. And it's going to be a sack here off the edge. Taj Hagan's getting in there. Another sack incoming here for the Piranhas as Vitali Mahalona gets in there.
Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Tries the
And an interception by Deacon Killebrew, a nice little exclamation point here with just under a minute remaining in the game, and we've picked off the quarterback again. Demetrius Telford is just going to take a knee after that interception, and the clock will run down, and that will be 8 straight Big Ten championship game wins for the Peteytown Piranhas as we get the 24-3 victory here. Just excellent effort, especially on defense, absolutely suffocating and locked down, and the offense had a bit of a struggle to start this one, but picked things up in the second half nicely to give us a nice cushion, and now we are going to see what happens in the college football playoff. Offensively, we had 345 yards to Ohio State's 150. They had negative 29 yards rushing thanks to that pass rush, and we had 120 and 2 touchdowns. And for passing, they had 179 and we had 225. They were 2 for 11 on third down while we were 4 for 10. And for turnovers, they had 4 and we had 1. Demetrius Telford did okay in this game with 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, and he was sacked once. Randy McNeil really came alive in that second half and helped carry us to this victory as he had 12 carries for 109 yards and a touchdown, while Demetrius Telford had 5 for 11 and a touchdown to give him 2 on the day. Max Meeks was our leading receiver with 5 catches and 60 yards, while Demetrius Brown had 6 for 53, Lorenzo Ruggins 3 for 40, and Dylan DeLuca 9 for 37 and a touchdown. Amazing effort by the defense today as Joel Okorafor got 9 tackles to lead us and 3 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had 2.5 from Kevin Jones, 1 each for Colin Griffin and Taj Higgins, and half a sack from Fiteli Mahalona. And then in the pass defense, 2 interceptions from Joel Okorafor, and 1 each for Deacon Killebrew and Taekwon Paul. Joaquin Orlando missed his first field goal today, but hit his other one for 23 yards. No surprise, as Joel Okorafor was the player of the game on defense for the Big Ten Championship. Joel Okorafor was also recognized as having the best defensive game in all of the conference championships. Dylan DeLuca was the offensive player of the game in the Big Ten Championship. Dylan DeLuca is the Walter Camp Award winner. Dylan is also the Maxwell Award winner. The Heisman Trophy winner for this season is our very own Dylan DeLuca. Just an absolutely wonderful season by him. He's the 3rd tight end in our history to win this award, and just absolutely so proud of him. Demetrius Telford is the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner, I believe the first time we won this award. Deacon Killebrew is the Chuck Bednarik Award winner. Deacon also won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy. Demetrius Telford is the Davey O'Brien Award winner, the first time we've won this award. No surprise that Dylan DeLuca is the John Mackey Award winner. Deacon Killebrew is also the Dick Butkus Award winner. They're still listing Demetrius Telford with the top spot in the Heisman Trophy race, but we all know that Dylan won it, so of course congratulations to Dylan, and can't forget Demetrius's contributions this year, which were amazing. It's early National Signing Day, so we can take a look at these dev traits, and left tackle Caleb Tant is an elite dev, so great start there. Then D'Angelo Lemur is also elite dev. Quarterback Alex Keener is star dev. Will linebacker Tyler Fisk is a star dev. Left tackle Miles Stitzer is impact. Then left guard Glenn Kell is star dev, very nice. And wide receiver Tyler Robbins is impact. Will linebacker Victor Lacumbo is impact. Mike linebacker Ben Incognito is star. Then you got David Dimke, who is impact. Wide receiver Cornell Cleveland, impact as well. Free safety Derek Sims is a star dev. Halfback Cortez Stoner is impact. Right edge Sammy Middlebrooks is a star dev. And punter Trent Gold is normal. So that's our only normal guys, so I feel like that's pretty good. For the college football playoff, you're going to have number 5 seed Pitt taking on number 12 Oklahoma State, then 8 versus 9 with Nebraska and Georgia, number 6 Oklahoma versus 11 Kent State, and Clemson versus Miami in the 7-10 matchup. And then for your top 4 seeds, we're number 1, Texas is number 2, NC State is number 3, and USC is number 4. So we're awaiting the winner of Nebraska and Georgia. Nebraska was able to beat Georgia in that game, so we will be taking on the Cornhuskers. Nebraska won a shootout over Georgia as they won 45-35, and then for the rest of the first round, Pitt was able to beat Oklahoma State, and then Kent State with a huge upset over Oklahoma, so nice to see that. And then Miami just absolutely obliterated Clemson. And then for the 4-5 matchup, it'll be USC Pitt, us versus Nebraska, of course, NC State versus Kent State, and Texas Miami. Unfortunately, Sammy Malek got injured in the Big Ten championship game, so we're going to have a little shuffle at tackle on the offensive line. Replacing Sammy at left tackle will be Alex John, who's a sophomore, but he does have that elite dev, so we're going to trust the sophomore out here. Another trip to the Rose Bowl for the Peteytown Piranhas as we take on number 8 seed Nebraska with their 96th team overall.
Looking to throw it from the red zone.
And the Heisman Trophy winner is going to score the first touchdown of this game as we go up 7-0. And here's a sack by Nebraska. They're going to bring us down for a 7-yard loss.
Quarterback wants to throw it on second down.
And in the middle of the end zone, we're going to find Trevor Christie. Nice job by Demetrius Telfort. And it's going to be 14-0 Piranhas. D'Angelo Dubs is going to get back there for the sack, as well as Kevin Jones.
Quarterback looking to throw it on second down.
And what an absolute laser from Demetrius Telfort to Trevor Christie, and Trevor Christie is gone into the end zone. Beautiful play by the Piranhas as we take a commanding 21-0 lead.
Looking to throw on third and goal. The pocket breaking down.
And his man is open underneath our zones in the end zone, and Nebraska's on the board to make it 21-7.
Here, second down. Offense looking to throw the ball.
And D'Angelo Dubs is going to chase down their quarterback for the sack.
Who's a conversion here, down multiple scores.
D'Angelo Dubs comes from behind and gets him down again. He's been involved with sacks before in this game, and he's able to shut down this drive. And Dylan DeLuca is going to get this RPO play, and it's going to work to perfection as he gets into the end zone again, and it's going to be 28-7 Piranhas. And we're going to step in front of that one for the interception, trying to hit his man over the middle, but we got that with Eric Lopez. And another interception here. It's going to be Tony G on this one, and he is going to run down the numbers, and nobody is going to catch Tony, as he's going to have a pick six here to make it 35-7 Piranhas. D'Angelo Dubs again in the backfield for a sack. That's his third of the day.
Drops back, needing a third down completion here.
And an interception for the award winner, Deacon Killebrew, with just under 2 minutes left in this game. Dylan DeLuca can walk into the end zone after that interception and salute the crowd as the Peteytown Piranhas get ready to go to their semifinal matchup. Dominance here for the Peteytown Piranhas in this quarterfinal as we get the 42-7 victory over Nebraska. Just absolutely great job on all sides of the ball here. During that game, Demetrius Telfort set the Big Ten single-season passing touchdowns record. On this day, the Peteytown Piranhas had 388 yards, while Nebraska had 293. They had 50 yards rushing, and we had 40. Then for passing, they had 243, and we had 348. They were 4 of 12 on third down, while we were 4 for 8. And for turnovers, we didn't have any, and we forced 3. Demetrius Telfort has had some struggles in quarterfinal games in the past, but this was not one of those times, as he had 348 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was sacked once. Randy McNeil led us today in rushing with 7 carries and 39 yards. Trevor Christie was out there making plays as he had 10 catches, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then our Heisman Trophy winner, Dylan DeLuca, got 18 catches, 130 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Lorenzo Ruggins with 4 for 61. Joel Okorafor had 14 tackles today, while Deacon Killebrew got 10. And then Joel also got 3 for a loss. Then for sacks, you had D'Angelo Dubs with 3. He also added 5 tackles for a loss. And then for Kevin Jones, he got 1 sack, and it was half a sack for Faiteli Mahalona. And for interceptions, we got 1 with Deacon Killebrew. Tony G got that 78-yard pick 6, and Eric Lopez got himself an interception as well. A team we're very familiar with, USC, has advanced to face us in the semifinal. In the quarterfinal, USC took down Pitt to set up our matchup, and then NC State absolutely destroyed Kent State, but still got to applaud Kent State for their first round upset. And then Texas beat Miami by 3 touchdowns, and that'll set up us and USC, and Texas and NC State in the semifinal. Once again, we will do battle with the USC Trojans with their 97 overall and number 4 seed, and we'll do battle in Miami. Demetrius Telfort taking this one, and the lane opened up beautifully for him, and the Peteytown Piranhas will go up 7-0. And we're going to get that interception. Joel Okorafor gets it, and he's going to return it to their 21-yard line. Thought Joel might be running in a different direction, but he had that wherewithal to reach up his hands and grab that interception. Offense can't really move the ball out at all after that interception, so Joaquin Orlando is going to come on for the field goal attempt, and he puts it through to make it 10-0. And we're going to get Demetrius Brown. He had a little option route there, and he chose to go outside, and he chose correct as he gets into the end zone to make it 17-0. And right up the middle is going to be Colin Griffin with a great move to get back there. And there's a fumble on the play, and it is going to be recovered by the Peteytown Piranhas. Joel Okorafor gets on top of that one, and we're able to keep USC off the board. And immediate pressure up the middle. It's fumbled by Demetrius Telfort, and USC's guy is going to pick it up. He got a little strip sack, and he recovered that fumble, and now USC has returned the favor, and they're set up at near the 50-yard line.
He's looking to throw. Quick throw to the left.
And that is going to be an interception by USC, and their man is running down the numbers, and on our side of the 50 now. Looked like our guy was open to Demetrius Telfort, but that safety closed in on that ball. And we're trying to get a RPO thing out there, and that's going to be intercepted. Demetrius's 3rd turnover of the half, and now USC is in good scoring position, and our defense has done a good job keeping USC off the board after a couple of earlier Demetrius turnovers, but now they're really got their backs up against the wall. And USC's man is going to get into the end zone, and finally they score after a turnover to make it 17-7. And we're going to get an interception here now. Deacon Killebrew on that one. They tried a little play action, but Deacon didn't bite, and he was well positioned in pass coverage to get that turnover. Over the middle, it's going to be Randy McNeil on the angle route getting into the end zone, so we take advantage of the turnover to start this half, and it's going to be 24-7 Piranhas. And we're going to get a big play here. It's going to be Lorenzo Ruggins on an RPO post route, and he is in the end zone to make it 31-7.
And the tailback's got it again.
Randy McNeil just breaking tackles everywhere and fighting his way into the end zone, and it's going to be 38-7 Piranhas.
Play fake, looking to throw. A deep shot to the left side.
And just absolutely suffocating defense there by Isaac Priestley as he jumps and dives for that interception, and we're going to take over. And another interception as USC is going to get that one. It's off an RPO post, and instead of floating it, Demetrius fired it, and it was right into the hands of their linebacker.
Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down.
And we're going to get a sack here. Kevin Jones gets in on that one. So despite 4 turnovers from Demetrius Telfort, the Peteytown Piranhas still get a 45-21 victory over USC. And anytime you can get that kind of effort from the team when your quarterback is struggling, you will take it, because that's just picking each other up and being a complete team right there. And I'm just very proud of the Piranhas that they didn't let that get them down, and they were able to persevere and get this big win. Despite the turnover struggles, Demetrius Telfort was still able to set the Peteytown single-season passing touchdowns record. We were able to put together 435 yards on offense, while USC had 298, and for rushing they had 24 and a touchdown, and we had 128 and 2 touchdowns. And for passing yards they had 274, we had 307. They were 4 for 12 on third down, while we were 4 for 8, and for turnovers we both had 4. Demetrius Telfort with a roller coaster here today, as he had 276 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a fumble, and he was also sacked once. And Eli Newcomb came in and got 31 yards and a touchdown. Randy McNeil with a great day today with 15 carries, 107 yards, and a touchdown, while Demetrius Telfort had 6 for 17 and a touchdown for 4 total on the day. Dylan DeLuca had a little bit of wear and tear going on during the game, so Tobias Hayden came in and led us with 6 catches and 97 yards. Demetrius Brown had 7 for 78 and a touchdown. Lorenzo Ruggins, 2 for 59 and a touchdown. And then we got our guy Carter Burns with a 10-yard touchdown catch, and Randy McNeil with a 5-yard touchdown catch. Joel Okorafor and Otis Moody each had 8 tackles, while Joel had 3 for a loss. And then for sacks, we had 1 each from Colin Griffin and Kevin Jones, then half a sack for Danny Fattencoon and Jimmy Wyndham. Then for interceptions, we got 1 from Joel Okorafor, Isaac Priestley, and Deacon Killebrew. And then for a forced fumble, we had that with Joel Okorafor, and he was the one that recovered it. Joaquin Orlando with his only field goal attempt today being a 37-yarder that he made. Joel Okorafor had the best game of the semifinal round on defense. It's going to be Texas here in the national championship game. It's number 1 versus number 2, and it's a rematch from last year's national championship. Petey Previtt upgraded after that win over USC, so we're going to go here to this strong roots tree and program builder and get to Tier 1. We're very happy to bring Sammy Malik back in time for this national championship game. It's time for the rematch here in the national championship with Texas, and they come in undefeated just like us, so it's going to be a very tough battle. They have a 93 team overall, and for us, we're going for our 10th national championship as a program, which would be a very nice milestone, as well as back-to-back national championships, so we'll see what we can do. For team comparison, we're very comparable on the yards per game, and we convert third downs a little bit more than they do, so see how it all plays out here. After stopping us on the first possession, Texas has worked it into field goal range, and their kicker is going to put this one up, and it is good as they take the early 3-0 lead. And we're going to get an interception here. He tried a deep ball off the play action, and Otis Moody came down with it, and he returns it to their red zone. Beautiful blocking here by the O-line. Frederick Woods putting in work there, and Randy McNeil was able to run behind him to get into the end zone to go up 7-3 thanks to that Otis Moody interception. And that is just a not good decision by that quarterback as he floats it into the hands of Tony G. And now Tony is taking it down the hash marks, and he is going to score on a pick 6. Great job by Tony. Great job by the defense. It's 2 straight possessions with interceptions, and this one is going to be resulting in points for us as we go up 14-3. And they try the double fake, and that's not going to work as Eric Lopez got in there very quickly.
Here's the snap, looking to throw here.
And to the outside, it's going to be Dylan DeLuca hauling that one in and getting into the end zone as we take a 21-3 lead. Right before the end of the first half, we're able to set up Joaquin Orlando for a field goal attempt, and he is going to put it through to make it 24-3. And they are going to split the seam on us here to get into the end zone and make it 24-10. After Texas got their touchdown, we're setting up Joaquin Orlando for a 48-yard field goal attempt, and he is going to send this one away and sneak it between that left upright, and it's going to be 27-10 Piranhas. Dylan DeLuca is free again, and Dylan DeLuca is in the end zone for the Piranhas, and we're going to go up 34-10. Going deep, and that is not going to work out as Isaac Priestley is going to be back there to get that interception, and just a fantastic play by Isaac. And we're going to get around him, and it's going to be Lorenzo Ruggins into the end zone. It's an RPO play where there's some out routes attached to it, and we took it, and we are going to get it to 41-10. And we're going to cut that off beautifully. Otis Moody gets another one in this game as we turn over their quarterback again. And the final seconds have ticked off in this national championship, and we have taken it home. 41-10 is your final score as the Peteytown Piranhas are once again national champions. They got their back-to-back titles and of course their 10th in program history. Just absolutely wonderful milestone and a special group of guys to do it. And we beat Texas again, and they're left just scratching their heads wondering what could have been, but just an absolutely sensational performance here by the Piranhas as the Heisman Trophy winner Dylan DeLuca hands that trophy over to Petey Previtt, and just absolutely proud of these guys. Demetrius Telfort with a record breaker in the national championship as he now has the national single-season passing touchdowns record. Dylan DeLuca has set the national single-season receiving touchdowns record. In this one-sided affair of the national championship, the Peteytown Piranhas had 436 yards to Texas's 256. They had 76 yards rushing while we had 133 and a touchdown. They had 180 yards passing and we had 303. They were 5 for 10 on third down while we were 7 for 11. And for turnovers, we kept it clean and forced 4 on Texas. In his final game, Demetrius Telfort was sensational as he had 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. Randy McNeil was a star in this one as he had 18 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. Dylan DeLuca leaves us with a nice performance in his final game as he had 12 catches for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Lorenzo Ruggins had 7 for 88 and a touchdown, and Andre Iguabuke had 3 for 46. Deacon Killebrew led us with 10 tackles in this national championship, and then for sacks, we had 1 from Eric Lopez, and interceptions, these were the big stars today as Otis Moody got 2, 1 for Isaac Priestley, and then Tony G returned his 65 yards for a touchdown. Joaquin Orlando with a perfect performance here as he was 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 48. On the back of that pick 6, Tony G was the defensive player of the game in the national championship. And Dylan DeLuca was the offensive player of the game. For our season stats, Demetrius Telfort had 4,772 yards, 65 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Then we go over to rushing. Randy McNeil, 197 carries, 1,193 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Then you had Trevante Uzama with the backups. He had 81 carries, 595 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Then Demetrius Telfort, 81 carries, 406 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Then for receiving, of course, you got Dylan DeLuca here, 160 catches, 1,529 yards, and 29 touchdowns. Demetrius Brown, 69 catches, nice, 885 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Trevor Christie, 86 for 763 and 10 touchdowns. And Lorenzo Ruggins, 65, 737, and 7 touchdowns. Then out of the backfield, you had our guy Randy McNeil. He had 23 catches, 186 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. On defense, Joel Okorafor led us with 113 tackles, while Deacon Killebrew got 100. Then for TFLs, you got 29 from Joel and 24 from Deacon, then 23 from Eric Lopez, 22 for D'Angelo Dubs, and 20 for Fiteli Mahalona. Then for sacks, you had 10.5 for D'Angelo and 9.5 for Fiteli. Then for interceptions, Deacon Killebrew led us with 9, and 6 apiece for Joel Okorafor and Isaac Priestley, 4 for Tony G and Otis Moody, 3 for Miles Meadows and Marquise Naylor, 2 for Taekwon Paul and Rocky Long, then 1 each for Eric Lopez and Jamie Salcedo. And then going over here, we got our defensive touchdowns, 2 for Tony G, 1 each for Deacon and Marquise Naylor and Max Littlejohn. And then for pass deflections, 9 for Marquise Naylor to lead us. And then we got forced fumbles, 3 for Colin Griffin, 2 for Joel, 2 for Fitelli, then 1 each for Isaac Priestley, Jimmy Wyndham, and Kevin Jones. And then fumble recoveries, 2 for Colin, 2 for Fitelli, and Marquise, and Max Littlejohn, then 1 for Joel Okorafor. And then we got any blocked kicks? No, we did. We got 1 with George Heredia, and for safeties, we did not get any this year. Finally, we got Joaquin Orlando hitting 25 of 28 field goals and 89%, and a long of 60. Demetrius Telfort finished his career with 13,392 yards, 147 touchdown passes, and 44 interceptions. On the ground, Demetrius added 219 carries, 543 yards, and 21 scores. In his award-winning career, Dylan DeLuca had 225 catches, 2,118 yards, and 38 touchdowns. Then Demetrius Brown had 156 for 1,777 and 17 touchdowns. And Lorenzo Ruggins 137 for 1,661 and 17 touchdowns. Joel Okorafor finished with 173 tackles, 37 for a loss, 3 sacks, and 7 interceptions. And then we go over to his defensive touchdowns where he got 1, 13 pass deflections, and then he had 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. Deacon Killebrew had 168 tackles, 33 for a loss, 4 sacks, and 9 interceptions. And then he went over and got 1 defensive touchdown and 14 pass deflections. Only 2 Piranhas looking to maybe transfer in this player's leaving stage, with wide receiver Pat Gainwell and defensive tackle Doug Boss, so we're going to see if we can get him back. For Pat Gainwell, it has failed, and then for Doug Boss, he's decided to stay, so that's nice. Incredibly talented group of seniors that we're saying goodbye to here, and a bunch of 99 overalls. You got Frederick Woods, just a fantastic lineman. Then Demetrius Telfort, a roller coaster of a career, had that quarterfinal game he wishes he could have back, but I'm very proud of his resilience and able to get 2 national championships for us as our starting quarterback. Then Eric Lopez, just a very talented guy, had to deal with an injury this year, but he bounced back and was very productive. Then Joel Okorafor, reliable in the middle, and Deacon Killebrew, the award winner, just making plays all over the field this year. Taekwon Paul, very reliable at the corner spot. And then you got Sammy Malik, who's just very good, and he had that injury scare in the playoffs, but was able to come to the national championship and help us deliver one. And then you got Dylan DeLuca, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner, our 3rd in the history of the program, and just fantastic guy. I knew when I recruited him that he was going to have a big impact at some point in his career. Had to wait a little while with guys in front of him, but when he got his opportunity, of course, he made the absolute most of it. Then you got Madison Schwenk, another reliable lineman, and Lorenzo Ruggins didn't have a lot of numbers this year, but made some big plays, as well as Demetrius Brown and Trevor Christie. And then Andre Iguabuke didn't really get a lot of chances, but he stuck with the program and was a good guy to have. Then Fitelli Mahalona, a great transfer in the middle, helped beef up the defensive line for us. Overall, this senior class has to go down as one of the most talented for sure, with all these 99 overalls, and they were able to pick each other up and really deliver some great moments for us in our program's history, and they will all be dearly missed. 13 Peteytown Piranhas are now in the NFL, and an amazing 10 of them were in the first round, and those include Demetrius Telfort, Lorenzo Ruggins, Dylan DeLuca, Frederick Woods, Sammy Malik, Madison Schwenk, Joel Okorafor, Eric Lopez, Deacon Killebrew, and Taekwon Paul. Then we got a 2nd rounder with Demetrius Brown, and 2 7th rounders with Trevor Christie and Fitelli Mahalona. For the transfer portal, pretty simple here, still trying to assign Kurt Stat to the team. And then we got 2 wide receivers here because we really only need wide receiver. For Scott Graves, he's a contested specialist, and he's pretty young too, which is really nice. He's got 94 speed, 96 acceleration, and good route running and spec catch, and he's got gold 50-50. And then for Willie Ekior, he's a physical route runner. He's got okay speed, but just great route running and some abilities already. So some guys we can really build around. We gave Kurt a week 1 visit, and that helped us go over USC for him, so we're hoping that he commits before he visits them in week 3. And then for Scott Graves, he's in first place, but of course a bunch of teams want him, and we got him on a week 4 visit, but still not enough information for a sell at this point, so we'll see what happens there. And for Willie, he shot up into first place for us. Outside linebacker Kurt Stat will be a Peteytown Piranha. The battle is still tight for Scott Graves, but now we have his hard sell. And for Willie, he's going to be on a visit for week 3 and nobody else is challenging for him, so feeling pretty good right now. Willie Ekior will be joining the Peteytown Piranhas. And so will Scott Graves. He didn't even need that week 4 visit, so we got all the guys we needed. It was only 3, but I will count that as an absolute win. For the transfer portal dev traits, Kurt Stat, the high schooler, is a star dev, so love to see that. Scott Graves is also star, and Willie Ekior is impact, so feeling pretty good about what we did in the transfer portal. Overall for this class, we ended up with 2 elite devs, and then 8 star devs, and a bunch of impact guys, and then 1 normal with the punter. And I think with that little thing that happened earlier in the season with the accidental sim, could have had a better class than this, but overall I think we did alright despite that. And then we go to the top classes, and we are the number 4 class in the country with 6 5-stars, 11 4-stars, and the 1 3-star punter. Looking at some moves to make during position changes, I'm looking at our athletes, and D'Angelo Lemur is coming in as a contested specialist wide receiver. But when I look closer at him, he becomes a little better of a tight end, and he's got the physical route runner archetype at tight end, and I like that a little better than a contested specialist, so I'm going to make D'Angelo a tight end. Nice to see our guy Tony G upgrading his dev trait to star. Quarterback Eli Newcomb is now an 86 overall, 89 with a tactician boost, and we got him there by getting his accuracy up to a decent spot. And then we got his elusiveness up to a decent amount as well, and his quickness is at 90 speed and 91 acceleration. Halfback Randy McNeil is now an 87 overall, 88 with a tactician boost, and we're trying to keep him at that 87 overall, so he's got a few skill points left over. But for him, we got his quickness to its max as it's 98 speed and 99 acceleration. His elusiveness is also at its cap. And then for his abilities, he's got the Platinum Downhill and Bronze Balanced. Also want to point out Max Meeks in the backfield, as he's going to pair with our guy Randy McNeil. His quickness is also maxed out at 99 speed and 98 acceleration. His elusiveness went up a little bit, and for his abilities, he's got Platinum Shifty and Bronze Sidestep. Kevin Shakir is the latest member of the 99 overall club at wide receiver, and we got him there with his quickness getting to 99 speed and 97 acceleration. His hands are at 95 catching and 96 in traffic. Then for route running, it is absolutely perfect. Then his elusiveness got up to 94 agility and 94 change of direction. Then his IQ went up to 87 awareness. And then for his abilities, he had the Platinum Cutter. We also gave him Silver Double Dip this offseason, and he already had the Platinum Sure Hands. Sophomore wide receiver Floyd Grimes is an 87 overall, 89 with a tactician boost, and for his ratings, we got his quickness all the way maxed out at 98 speed and acceleration. His hands got a nice boost to 91 catching and 96 spec catch. For route running, it's pretty good here, everything in the green, and then his elusiveness has reached its cap. And with all of that, we were able to get him a bunch of abilities. He had the Platinum Takeoff already. He's also got Bronze Sidestep, Gold Double Dip, Bronze Recoup, and Gold Shifty. Tight end Tobias Hayden is another one of those juniors who he stopped at 87 overall, and he also is 89 with tactician boosts. And for him, his route running has been maxed out, and his hands have reached its cap. Then we got his blocking up a little bit, and his quickness had already met its cap at 88 speed and 92 acceleration. And for his abilities, he already had the silver 50-50. Another 99 overall player here with Cameron Prescott, and he's a left tackle by trade. He was our center this past season, but he will move back out to tackle. And then for his ratings, his pass blocking, run blocking, and power have all been maxed out, and his IQ is at 91 awareness and lead block. And for his abilities, it's platinum everything, with pocket shield, quick drop, PA shield, strong grip, and wear down. Moving to defense, we got Edge D'Angelo Dubs at 90 overall, 92 with tactician boost, and for him, his power moves have reached their cap, and his finesse moves have reached 91. We also got his quickness to its cap at 90 speed and acceleration, and his run stopping went up a little bit. And for his abilities, he already had the gold pocket disruptor and duress, and we advanced him to platinum takedown. Outside linebacker George Heredia is 93 overall, 96 with tactician boost, and for him, his quickness has gotten up to 96 speed and 99 acceleration. His pass coverage is at 91 zone, and his run stopping has gone up to a nice level. And for his abilities, he's got silver aftershock, gold blow-up, and silver hammer. Cornerback Isaac Priestley is a 95 overall, 96 with tactician boost, and for him we got his man coverage up to 95, and his zone coverage was already at 92. And for his abilities, we got silver blanket coverage, bronze jammer, platinum house call, bronze ball hawk, and gold knockout. Marquise Naylor just missed out on being a 99 overall as he's a 98, but he is 99 with tactician boost. And for him, his man coverage has reached its cap. He's got 96 man coverage and 96 press. And for his zone coverage, it's 87 with 87 play rec. His quickness was already maxed out at 99 speed and acceleration. And then for his abilities, he's got bronze blanket coverage and jammer, along with platinum house call, and bronze ball hawk and knockout. Free safety Otis Moody is a 93 overall, 95 with tactician boost, and for his ratings, he got 96 zone coverage and 92 man coverage, and his quickness had already been maxed out. And for his abilities, he's got the bronze ball hawk, platinum house call, platinum robber, and gold knockout. Strong safety Tony G is a 95 overall and 97 with tactician boost, and for him, his IQ went up to 87 awareness and 91 play rec. His pass coverage is 90 zone and 93 man. His quickness had been maxed out already, and we boosted up his run support. And for his abilities, he's got the gold knockout. One last thing to do in the off season here, as I'm going to go into Program Builder once again to Strong Roots, and we're going to get to Tier 2 here for Household Name. Another special season here for the Peteytown Piranhas. It's another undefeated one for us, ending in a national championship for back-to-back national championships and our 10th overall. And just a very special group of guys, you know. They had that quarterfinal loss a few years back, but they bounced back with tremendous heart and spirit and resiliency. So really love what they put on the field out there. And of course, a special one for Dylan DeLuca getting the Heisman Trophy and a bunch of other award winners, especially with Demetrius Telfort winning that Davy O'Brien Award. Just what he had to overcome after that loss and what he just did on the field and everything is just nothing short of spectacular. So very happy for this team, proud of these guys, and really looking forward to the upcoming season. I'll see you guys in the next video.